Childhood memories. 1960s and 70s is a nostalgic journey back in time where retro and vintage toys from the 60s and 70s come alive. This was a time when classic toys like Slinky, Spirograph, and Star Wars action figures were at the height of their popularity. Recalling the good old times, we can feel the joy and excitement these toys brought us during our childhood. It was a time when we could immerse ourselves in the simple pleasures of life, creating memories that have lasted a lifetime. Briot was indeed introduced in 1967 by Hasbro. It quickly became a popular toy, especially among children interested in art and creativity. The toy consisted of a backlit grid covered by black sheets, with peg holes at each intersection. Users could then insert colored translucent plastic pegs into the holes to create illuminated designs and patterns. Briot was a simple yet innovative toy that provided endless possibilities for artistic expression. It encouraged creativity and fine motor skills in children, allowing them to create colorful and imaginative designs with ease. Over the years, Briot has remained a nostalgic favorite for many, with various iterations and versions released to cater to different preferences and age groups. Creepy Crawlers was a popular toy introduced in the 1960s by Mattel. It allowed children to create their own rubbery insects, spiders, and other creepy crawly creatures using a special Thingmaker device. The Thingmaker featured metal molds into which a liquid plastic compound was poured. The molds were then heated up, and once the plastic cooled and hardened, kids could remove their creations. Creepy Crawlers became a hit among children, offering them the opportunity to make and collect their own unique toys. The toy was not only entertaining, but also encouraged creativity and manual dexterity, as kids experimented with different colors and designs for their creatures. Over the years, Creepy Crawlers evolved with new molds, accessories, and safety features, remaining a cherished memory for many who grew up playing with it during the 1960s and beyond. If you want to find out how an ordinary wire won millions of fans around the world, be sure to watch the video until the end. Mr. Potato Head is an iconic toy that was introduced in the early 1950s. It was invented and developed by George Lerner in 1949 and was first manufactured and distributed by Hasbro in 1952. Mr. Potato Head was one of the earliest toys to use interchangeable plastic parts, allowing children to mix and match different facial features and accessories to create various characters on a plastic potato-shaped body. Originally, Mr. Potato Head was sold as separate plastic parts that could be attached to a real potato or other vegetable. The kit included facial features like eyes, noses, mouths, ears, and hats, as well as other accessories like arms, shoes, and hats. The concept of Mr. Potato Head evolved over time, and eventually in 1964, Hasbro began including a plastic potato body with the toy. Mr. Potato Head became immensely popular and has remained a beloved toy for generations. It was inducted into the National Toy Hall of Fame in 2000, recognizing its cultural significance and enduring appeal. Over the years, Mr. Potato Head has been featured in movies, television shows, and various merchandise, solidifying its status as a timeless classic in the world of toys. And if you want to relive the most vivid childhood memories, exciting stories from your childhood, subscribe now to feel the atmosphere of those wonderful times again and share this memory together. The Slinky is a classic toy that was invented in the 1940s by Richard James, a naval engineer. However, it gained significant popularity in the 1950s. The story goes that James accidentally discovered the toy's potential when he knocked over a set of tension springs and watched as they gracefully walked down a stack of books and onto the floor. In 1945, Richard James and his wife Betty formed James Industries to manufacture the Slinky. The toy was introduced to the public in 1946 and quickly became a sensation. However, it wasn't until the 1950s that the Slinky really took off. Its popularity was fueled by clever marketing campaigns and catchy slogans, such as, It walks downstairs alone or in pairs and makes a slinkity sound. The Slinky's mesmerizing motion and versatile play possibilities made it a hit with children and adults alike. Throughout the 1950s, the Slinky was one of the most popular toys in the United States, and its success continued in the decades that followed. It remains an enduring symbol of classic American toy innovation and continues to be enjoyed by children and nostalgic adults around the world. If you're interested in learning how a simple lawn weed made millions of kids break their piggy banks and take all their money to the toy store, watch the video to the end. G.I. Joe is an iconic action figure that was introduced in the 1960s by Hasbro. The toy line was inspired by the success of the Barbie doll, but whereas Barbie was marketed primarily to girls, G.I. Joe was aimed at boys. The original G.I. Joe action figure was a 12-inch articulated figure representing various branches of the United States military. G.I. Joe quickly became one of the most popular toys of the 1960s, capturing the imaginations of children and becoming a cultural phenomenon. The toy line spawned numerous spin-offs, including comics, animated television shows, and movies. G.I. Joe also underwent several revivals and updates over the years, with different iterations reflecting changes in military technology, cultural attitudes, and toy design trends. The original 12-inch G.I. Joe action figures remained popular throughout the 1960s and into the early 1970s before being replaced by smaller 3.75-inch figures in the late 1970s. However, the legacy of G.I. Joe as a pioneering action figure and beloved toy franchise continues to endure to this day. The Chia Pet was not introduced until the 1970s, so it wasn't around in the 1960s. The Chia Pet is a terracotta figurine, typically depicting an animal or character, that is used to grow sprouts, giving the appearance of hair or foliage. It became a popular novelty item and gift during the late 1970s and early 1980s. The Chia Pet gained significant attention through television commercials in the 1980s, featuring catchy jingles like Chia and demonstrating how to grow the chia seeds to create the unique hair effect. Over the years, Chia Pets have been produced in various shapes and styles, including animals, cartoon characters, and celebrities, making them a fun and quirky addition to home decor. While the Chia Pet wasn't available in the 1960s, its introduction in the 1970s marked the beginning of a unique and enduring pop culture phenomenon that continues to be enjoyed by people of all ages. The Pogo Ball, also known as the Lolo Ball or the Moonhopper, was indeed popularized in the 1980s. It was a toy that combined elements of a pogo stick and a bouncing ball. The Pogo Ball consisted of a rubber ball attached to a plastic platform with a grip handle on each side. The player would stand on the platform with one foot and use the other foot to bounce and jump while maintaining balance and control. The Pogo Ball gained popularity as a fun and challenging toy that provided kids with a way to bounce and perform tricks. It was commonly seen in parks, playgrounds, and neighborhoods during the 1980s, and it became a cultural icon of the decade's toy scene. The Pogo Ball provided not only entertainment, but also an opportunity for children to develop balance, coordination, and physical fitness. While the Pogo Ball may not have been invented in the 1980s, it was during this decade that it reached peak popularity and became a beloved toy for many children around the world. Shrinky Dinks introduced in the 1970s. They were originally invented in 1973 by two housewives, Betty Morris and Kate Bloomberg, who stumbled upon the idea of shrinking plastic sheets while experimenting with a new material for making decorations. Shrinky Dinks are thin, flexible sheets of polystyrene plastic that can be colored or decorated with markers, colored pencils, or paint. Once decorated, the sheets are cut into shapes and placed in an oven where they shrink to a fraction of their original size and thicken, becoming smaller and thicker plastic pieces with vibrant colors and designs. Shrinky Dinks became a popular craft and toy activity for children in the 1970s, allowing them to create their own custom jewelry, keychains, ornaments, and more. The process of watching the plastic shrink and harden in the oven was both entertaining and magical for kids. Shrinky Dinks were sold as DIY craft kits and quickly became a nostalgic favorite for many who grew up during the 1970s and beyond. Gumby, the iconic green clay humanoid character, was actually created in the 1950s. Gumby was created by Art Clokey and debuted on the children's television show The Gumby Show, which first aired in 1955. The character quickly became popular and was beloved by children and adults alike for his whimsical adventures and distinctive appearance. Gumby was made of clay and had a flexible, malleable body that allowed him to bend and stretch in various ways. Along with his sidekick Pokey, a talking orange pony, Gumby embarked on imaginative escapades in a series of stop-motion animated shorts. The popularity of Gumby continued to grow throughout the 1950s and beyond. Gumby became an enduring cultural icon, appearing in various television shows, movies, and merchandise over the years. The character's timeless appeal has made Gumby a beloved figure in popular culture, and he remains a cherished memory for many who grew up watching his adventures unfold on television in the 1950s and beyond. We hope our video was enjoyed by everyone who loves retro toys and wants to remember their childhood. We showed you popular toys that delighted the children of America in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. These were classic toys that didn't need batteries, internet, or screens. They developed imagination, creativity, and hand motor skills. They left generations with unforgettable memories of the good old days. They were vintage toys that became a part of history and culture. If you too played with these toys or want to share your stories, write in the comments. Subscribe to our channel, put likes, and wait for new videos about retro toys. Thanks for watching.